What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again to the power of the internet. Today I want to talk a little bit about Jedi Fallen Order because as good of the game as it actually is, after watching Girlfriend reviews this video about it, it really got me questioning why we're reviewing this game so highly. So before you hit that dislike button, let me go ahead and say that I've played this game. I love this game. It is a very, very decent game. And for a Star Wars game, it is exceptionally good. It's certainly the best Star Wars game that we've had in a really long time. And I mean, when we check the Metacritic, we'll see that pretty much tells the same story. We've got about an 80 score average with 62 critics, and the user score is about an 8.0. There's a lot of very positive things to say about this game. When it comes to the voice acting, the storyline, the character development, everything about this game is really fantastic. When I think single-player Star Wars game, this is what I think. This is absolutely what I was hoping for. And there's a lot of little cute things too, like the main protagonist is a fantastic character. The supporting cast is fantastic. I think BD, the little robot that joins you, is cuter than BB-8. It's probably one of my favorite droids in the entire Star Wars universe. When it comes to gameplay, though, it does borrow very heavily from a lot of other games. It's kind of like a Dark Soulish, Tomb Raider kind of thing. And so it doesn't really have its own voice. It's not really its own game or its own thing. It pretty much takes those other formulas and then makes it Star Wars, which, again, that's kind of like a baby's first day out video game development of a first-person game. It tries to be Dark Souls. It tries to be Tomb Raider. It tries to be Uncharted. I'm not complaining because that's the best Star Wars offering we've had for a while, but it's nowhere near as good as those games. Most Tomb Raider games are better at that than this. Most Dark Souls are better at that than this was. Uncharted is a better game than this was. The only thing really going for this is the fact that this is a Star Wars game that's comparable, not as good, but it's comparable to the others. And the reason I'm saying that this game is not as good as those games, I don't mean plot-wise or story-wise or even gameplay-wise. I'm saying that when you put your hands on this game, specifically the launch version, but even since then, you're going to discover this game is a bit of a clunky mess and it has some really big bugs. And honestly, if this was not a Star Wars game, if our expectations from EA were not so low, had this been an Assassin's Creed game, well, we all know how we treated Assassin's Creed for being this level of buggy. And I mean, you can look at the bug compilations that exist out there. There are some tremendously big bugs with this game. And even when it's not bugging out, it can definitely be very clunky. So we forgive that kind of thing because we're desperate for Star Wars. We're desperate for EA to make a good game. We're desperate for a good Star Wars single-player game. And we're willing to just overlook that stuff in order to have a good Star Wars game. I genuinely think the bar has been set so low that both critics and players alike were kind of like, it's a bit of a buggy mess, but who cares? It's Star Wars. It's the best we're going to get. And I think Star Wars fans deserve more than that. I really do. And if I'm coming across as a hater here, again, I want to absolutely drive home the fact that I love this game. It will probably be in my top 15 games of the year. It might even work its way into the top 10. I haven't made the list yet. But I love the storyline, the main character, the supporting cast, the droids, the combat, the gameplay, the force powers. I mean, this is a must-play game for 2019. 2019, not a great year for video games, but again, this is a must-play for 2019, and I think it's important that we show our support for this kind of game so that we can teach EA they should be making these kinds of games. I mean, I personally think it's worth picking up this game just because the business model is so rare and unique. They use the God of War business model here. There's no microtransactions. There's no pay to win. There's no battle passes. There's no unlockable customizations. You buy the game, you get the whole game. As it is right now, I don't even think there's plans for DLC, and I want there to be DLC. I would love some story-based DLC coming up in the future, but as of right now, Respawn has said nothing about it. So buying a game that does that, just the same way you did God of War last year, I think is a very important message to the industry that these types of games can not only be successful, but profitable. So that alone would make me recommend it. The fact that it's also a good game makes it even easier. What I am saying here is that this game could have been more polished. This game could have played better, looked better, not have had the bugs and the other frustrating things that I promise you are probably guaranteed to come across at least a couple of bugs while you play this game. But more importantly, you'll have to deal with the clunky jumping and pathing and the goofy kind of stuff you're seeing on the screen right now. You will eventually realize this game can be very clunky when it comes to timing for jump puzzles and things along that lines. This game could have used another 6 months in the oven. I really think that. And I think EA probably rushed it out the door. Now, fortunately, the folks over at Respawn are very talented, and they made a very good game even without the polish. And I'm grateful. And it's definitely something Star Wars deserve. I'm just saying, I think Star Wars deserves even better than this. I don't think I'm wrong in that. I think that as good of a game this as may be, this should be the bottom tier of acceptability. We shouldn't be seeing bugs like this. We shouldn't be seeing gameplay clunkiness like this. The game should be better. It's Star Wars. Star Wars fans deserve better. That's my opinion. That's what I'm trying to say with this video. I mean, trying to be as critical as I can be here. I can't criticize the business model. I can't criticize the gameplay. I can't criticize the storyline. I think they were all done very, very well. I do think I can criticize the fact that the game was fairly buggy and that it had some awkwardness in it and that you're probably going to see some bugs. And I do think that's probably unacceptable for a Star Wars game. They shouldn't be as plentiful as they are. That said, do I love this game? Absolutely. But I think it's okay to criticize the things we love, especially the things we love. Now, as usual, this is one man's opinion, though I've seen this opinion quite a bit on the internet, so I feel like it's a fairly safe bet that you're going to agree with me. But if you do or you don't, let me know in the comment section below. While you're down there, drop a like on this video. Let me know that you enjoyed it, or dislike, let me know that you disagree. While you're down there, hit subscribe on the channel so you can see more videos like this as they come up. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. No.
May the Force be with you. Always.
Oh my gosh, John, I broke it.
Francis, leave your brother alone.
No. God damn it, fight back. You're the worst Vader.